Let's begin with a simple question that has echoed through centuries. Who was Bhagwan Ram? A king? A warrior? A myth? Or something far deeper than all of these labels? To understand Ram, you cannot approach him only as a historical figure, and you cannot dismiss him as mere mythology either. Ram exists in that rare space where history, philosophy, culture, and inner psychology all meet. He is remembered as Maryada Purushottam, the ideal human being, not a god who floated above life's struggles, but one who walked through them with extraordinary clarity and restraint. In the ancient Indian epic Ramayana, composed by sage Valmiki, Ram is introduced as the prince of Ayodhya, born to King Dashratha and Queen Kausalya. But this birth was not ordinary. Ram is believed to be the seventh incarnation or avatar of Vishnu, the cosmic preserver whose role is to restore balance whenever chaos overtakes order. Now pause here. Why would a cosmic force choose to be born as a human? Why not just eliminate evil instantly? This is where Ram's story becomes deeply psychological and philosophical. Because Ram does not come to bypass human struggle. He comes to demonstrate how to live through it. From his childhood, Ram was not just trained in warfare and governance, but in discipline, humility, and Dharma, the principle of right action. Under the guidance of sages like Vishwamitra, he learned not only how to use weapons, but when not to use them. This distinction is subtle but crucial. Power without restraint is chaos. Ram represents controlled power. One of the defining moments of his early life was his marriage to Sita, often considered the embodiment of purity, strength, and grace. Their union was not just romantic, it symbolized alignment between two individuals rooted in Dharma. But if Ram's life were only about perfection, it would be irrelevant to us. What makes his story timeless is not his victories, but his trials. Just as he was about to be crowned king, his life took a dramatic turn. Because of a promise his father made to Queen Kaikeyi, Ram was exiled to the forest for 14 years. Now think about this psychologically. A man who has done everything right suddenly loses everything: power, comfort, identity. What would most people do? Resist, argue, rebel. But Ram does something unusual. He accepts, not out of weakness, but out of clarity. He understands that Dharma is not about convenience, it is about alignment with the larger order, even when it hurts. This is where many modern minds struggle to relate. We are conditioned to fight every discomfort. Ram teaches something different, not passivity, but conscious acceptance when the situation is beyond control. During his exile, accompanied by Sita and his loyal brother Lakshmana, Ram's journey becomes a metaphor for the human condition. The forest is not just a physical space, it represents uncertainty, isolation, and the unknown. And then comes the turning point. Sita is abducted by Ravana, the powerful king of Lanka. Ravana is not just a villain, he is a complex character, intelligent, learned, yet consumed by ego and desire. In many ways, Ravana represents the unregulated mind. Now, Ram's journey transforms from endurance to action. With the help of allies like Hanuman and the Vanara army, Ram builds a bridge to Lanka, a literal and symbolic act, a bridge between despair and hope, between loss and restoration. This moment tells us something profound. Even in the darkest phases, solutions emerge through collaboration, faith, and persistence. the battle between Ram and Ravana is not just a war between two individuals, it is the eternal conflict between Dharma and Adharma, clarity and confusion, discipline and indulgence. When Ram finally defeats Ravana and rescues Sita, it seems like the story should end there. Victory, closure, peace. But life, as Ram shows us, is rarely that simple. Upon returning to Ayodhya and becoming king, Ram faces perhaps his most difficult challenge, not from enemies but from society. Questions arise about Sita's purity after her captivity. And here, Ram makes a decision that has been debated for centuries. He asks Sita to undergo a trial of fire to prove her purity, and later even sends her away to uphold the expectations of his people. Now, this is where many people struggle with Ram. How can an ideal man make such a painful choice? But look deeper. Ram is not choosing between right and wrong. He is choosing between two rights: his duty as a husband and his duty as a king. This is what makes his life tragic and profound. Dharma is not always clean or comfortable. Sometimes it demands sacrifice at a personal level for a perceived greater good. Whether one agrees with his decisions or not, Ram's life forces us to confront uncomfortable questions. What is duty? What is justice? Can personal happiness be sacrificed for collective responsibility? Ram's story does not give easy answers. It gives a framework to think. Historically, debates continue about whether Ram was a real historical figure or a symbolic archetype. Places like Ayodhya are deeply associated with his life, and texts like the Ramayana have been preserved, retold, and reinterpreted across thousands of years, languages, and cultures. But perhaps the more relevant question is not whether Ram existed in history. The real question is, does Ram exist in us? Because Ram represents a possibility, the possibility of living with integrity in a world full of chaos, the possibility of maintaining balance when emotions pull you in different directions, the possibility of choosing responsibility over impulse. He is not just an incarnation of Vishnu meant to destroy Ravana. He is an embodiment of an inner order meant to guide human life. And maybe that's why his story still matters. Because every day, in small ways, we stand at the same crossroads he did. Between comfort and duty, between reaction and restraint, between ego and clarity. Ram's life does not demand worship as much as it invites reflection. And if you really look closely, the question is no longer, who was Bhagwan Ram? The question quietly becomes, what would Ram do if he were in my place today? If these videos make you pause, if they make you think, if even one idea here touches something inside you, then please consider subscribing. I'm not a big channel. There's no algorithm magic working in my favor. Every video you see here is created with intention, reflection, and a genuine wish to help people understand themselves and the world a little better. Your subscription is not just a click. It tells YouTube that this kind of content matters. It tells me that this work is reaching real hearts, and it gives this small channel the strength to grow. I don't promise entertainment. I promise depth. I promise honesty. I promise conversations that stay with you long after the screen goes dark. So, if you believe in conscious thinking, emotional healing, and inner evolution, subscribe. Let's grow together, one mind, one heart, one step at a time. Thank you for being here.